All right, everyone. Well, welcome back. Feels like forever since we've been in communication. Hope everyone had an amazing spring break. Again, I apologize and being a little late in getting this out to you. But anyway, let's talk about what I want to talk about regarding this week's chapter 9 prep. I wanted to do something a little different that meets a real need. So as you know, I'm really big on experiential learning, competency-based learning, basically demonstrating what you know by doing, right? And meeting real life situations, and that's one of the reasons why I have you do the major deliverable. So for your week 9, chapter 9, week 10, chapter 9 prep, I want you to think about the group assignment, and as a people skills professional, okay, as a human relations specialist, right? That's what you are taking this course for. And this is a real life. This is the real deal. I want you to advise me, like for real. I'm talking for real, for real. I want you to advise me on if I was to do this group project again, because I'm teaching this course next semester, right, online as well. And I got to tell you, this is the first time that I taught Business 151. I've been teaching for 16 years, right? And I've taught other versions of this type of course. I've taught organizational development, I've taught business communications, but this people skills is really a mix of a lot of different things. It's a really cool course, actually. So this is the first time I have taught a course called people skills that involves a lot of different areas that otherwise I've taught independently. So I say all this to say I'm a big believer in group projects, right? As you guys know. Not that I like them, because I don't. I think I said if it wasn't in this class, it was another class. I hate group work. But even though I hate group work, I absolutely see the value in group work. The value in the growing pains, the triumph, the tribulations of group work. I see it. And there are things that, as you've already experienced, that you can only experience by working in a group, that you could never learn in any textbook. Or by any lecture. It's invaluable experience. But this being said, I got to tell you, I really, did I say really enough? I really struggled with if I was going to do this project again moving forward. Until I started to see what many of you guys submitted as a group. And as I read a lot of your submissions, I'm like, wow, this makes it all worth it. And I hope worth it for you. I put a ton of work on the back end, and I don't mind doing the work. My thing is, I started to question my own self whether the amount of work that I put in really justified the rewards or the fruit. And for me, the rewards and the fruit is you guys learning and feeling really good about what you're learning. So I got to tell you, I really questioned it. And I actually talked to a couple of my colleagues about, this group assignment. So I say this to say, over the summer, I'm going to be, adding and modifying some things, and not only this course, but all my courses. I use the summertime. It's a great time for me to really take a step back and go through all my courses and sort of say, hey, what worked well, what didn't work well, what do I want to change, what do I want to add, what do I want to do to keep it more relevant, that type of thing, right? So plus I want to stay fresh. I want to stay fresh because when I'm fresh, then I'm at my best, and then you get me at my best, which is really what you deserve. You don't want me all stale and whatever. But anyway, I say all this to say, put on your hat, right, as both a student and put on your hat as a human relations professional. I want you to think about and function as if you were in the role of an HR, human resources, or human relations professional. And I want you to submit to me a 1 to 2 page paper. I want you to think about this. Again, you have 2 weeks to do this, right? You have until Tuesday, March 26th to get this in. I really, really, really want you to think about this. And I want you to give to me a 1 to 2 page paper, APA format, 1 to 2 page Microsoft Word document in APA format. And if it's going to be 1 page, make it a 1 full page. I'd really like 2 pages because I want it to be thoughtful. I want to learn from you. I want to know what you think about this. What you're telling me now will affect, either directly or indirectly, how I move forward with this group project. And you know I'm all about the words like creating an experience for you to unwrap and step into. That's not just talk. That's truly what I walk by and live by, is creating an experience for my students to unwrap and to step into. So that's why I really, really struggled with this group project. And again, I was really ready to say, you know what? I don't think it's worth doing it again. Again, until I started seeing the amazing, creative, phenomenal things that many of the groups produced. And I was like, wow, I think this might be worth it. I think it might be worth it for the students, regardless of the struggling pains and the growing pains. I think it really might be worth keeping. So I'm one to not throw the baby out with the bathwater. And what do I mean by that? I'm not one to, and I don't mean in real life, we don't want to throw babies out, but I'm just saying, you don't want to take the baby, the baby stinks, the baby needs to be cleaned up. You don't throw the whole baby out with the bathwater. You take the baby out of the bathwater, you put fresh bathwater in, you clean the baby up, you put the baby back in, right? So I'm not saying just because some things don't work, you don't throw the whole thing away, right? So I want to know from you, again, put on your student hat and your human relations professional hat with what you've read, what you've learned, what you've experienced. And I want you to write a 1 to 2 page recommendation paper, right? Reflection, analysis, and recommendation. You've already reflected a lot throughout this course through the mid-course feedback that I asked you guys for, which I really appreciate. I started reading those. Obviously, I'm going to work on getting the grading, before spring break to get us back caught up. So we're all ready to go. So this week and next week, I'm going to be working on the grades, the midterm grades, not midterm, sorry, I'm still trying to adjust, right? I'm working on the assignments that were due the beginning week of spring break that I submitted early to you guys so you can get it done before spring break. Start working on grading those. But that being said, I want you to think, getting back to this assignment, 1 to 2 pages, preferably 2 pages. I want some good meat here. I want some good feedback here. I want you to reflect, analyze, and recommend this group project, right? And I'll say, even if you want to go to 3 pages, 1 to 3 pages is fine, right? So if it's 1 to 2 pages, that's great. No more than 3 pages, no less than 1 pages. I'm really shooting for that 2 pages from you guys because, again, I want this to be meaningful, real life. I want to know, in reflection about this assignment, what did you like? What didn't you like? Analysis, what worked? What didn't work? Do you recommend me keeping this group project in place as it is, with certain recommendations moving forward to make it better, or not at all, and then the reasons why? So I really appreciate you guys doing that for me. That's going to be your Chapter 9 prep for this Week 10. I realize that we're now out of sync because, we had Week 9 off for spring break, so we're actually in Week 10, but you guys are working on your Chapter 9 reading. And let me know. That's your assignment. So let's review your assignment. For your Chapter 9 prep, you're going to submit between a 1 to 3 page Microsoft Word document in APA format, with your reflection, analysis, and recommendation on this group project moving forward for the next semester and moving on, and how you see that working as both a student and a human relations, people skills professional. On that note, I'm excited already. I'm excited, excitedly, anticipatorily, if that's even a word. I've been known to make up words. Looking forward to your recommendations on this group project and how I can implement those moving forward. All right, I rambled enough. Get ready, get set, go, and rock it out.